spoke about dildos. What's next in the catalog?
So we recently, just a few months ago, in fact, started some products for men, for penis holders, and that was a little late to arrive on the catalog because we had some trouble in figuring out what to get, what not to get. We tried some and they weren't comfortable. One literally felt like a washing machine, like it made really scary sounds. It was about this big. It was a masturbator, fairly scary looking, and extremely intimidating, and I'm pretty sure it was intended to be a juicer.
What are we talking about?
you know the one I'm
Listen,
talking about.
this does not sound pleasurable from...
It was not. It was not. It looked like it would have a lot of potential because, it had one of those stand things and like hands-free. And so,
Listen, you said washing machine and juicer, so I'm like, I don't know what to think.
I know, because ultimately that's what we realized. We realized that I think at the time of manufacturing, they intended for it to be a juicer, but it couldn't be a juicer. So they were like, you know what, we'll sell this as a sex toy. But that's just one of the examples. But eventually, like after going through a whole lot of them, we now have a stroker which sort of just goes around the penis and vibrates. And then we have a fleshlight which also vibrates, made out of silicone. And there's another fleshlight which does not vibrate. So there's a range for the kind of experience you wish to have. And we're really hoping to make male-oriented products here in India because I feel like while there is a huge range of vibrators, because you have clitoral play, you have G-spot, you have things that you can do on the inside. There aren't that many toys for men, and so that's what we eventually also want to concentrate on more. Did I miss any male toys?
Well, the plugs.
Yes, there are the plugs,
which is just really for anyone and everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why silicone plugs are not being sold more, considering they're more bendable. So
wait, so let me bring the conversation back. Can you explain what a butt plug is, because it may not be that obvious to some people?
Yeah. So the typical butt plug that you would find is shaped a little like a spade in your playing cards. So you have a little bit of a dome that's a little pointy at the top, and the crucial part of any butt plug is the stopper at the end. So there is a little stem where it can firmly sit inside you, and you won't feel the pain as much while it's inside you. And there's a stopper to make sure it doesn't completely enter your body and then get lost. This is a very, very,
It's happened. There have been medical emergencies in the West that we've read about.
Yes, not happened to Sangya.
No, it's not happened to any of our customers. But while designing, while we were doing the research, we were trying to figure out how wide the stopper should be. And that's while researching is when we came across that this has happened multiple times in the past. So we made sure that the base was wide enough that it could not happen. That's actually you must have seen that there are crystals at the end.
Yeah.
That's also one of the reasons why the crystals are at the end, apart from the aesthetic reasons. Because, especially in a plug like a silicone one, which is bendable and can easily sort of move around, sort of is a sturdy base at the end.
That's a bad emergency to go to the hospital.
Oh my God, yeah.
And this is also just a hazard of the job, right? Learning how people mess around with toys and figure out what pleasure really means to them. We got this bullet vibrator fully under the assumption that it would mostly be, women who would buy it, and they would, just have it in their cosmetic bags and take it around. It'll merge with the lipsticks. And we thought that discretion will be the reason why people buy the bullet vibrator. And we found out a lot of people were starting to experiment with it for anal play, and it did not have a stopper. So we were just like, before anything goes south, may I please remind you, there is no stopper. You cannot go hands-free with this product. You absolutely have to make sure that you have a firm grip. So that's what is the most important aspect of a good butt plug as well, that it comes with a safe and wide enough stopper. You have different sizes. You get smalls, mediums and larges. Some places will sell an entire kit, because if you're looking for anal products that sort of help you accommodate larger vibrators or actually have anal sex with another person, then starting out with a small plug or a tiny vibrator really helps. Most small butt plugs don't vibrate. They're just a little piece of silicone or metal with the stopper at the end. And for a lot of people with prostates, the reason it works is because the way it's shaped, that dome shape, it puts significant pressure on the prostate. So for people who would not typically be able to access the prostate, may not be comfortable asking their partner to access it for them or use their own hands to reach their prostate, a butt plug is a great way for them to just insert it into themselves and really feel that pressure and fullness against their prostate, and still go about having sex in any other way, or just sitting in the moment and feeling that prostate play as well. So that is also something that I wish we talked about more when we say men's products.
I think there's so much male ego on that
Absolutely.
There is. But the thing is, you will find that even in the conversation about fleshlights, we encountered that very recently as well. We had a couple of reels put up about the fleshlight designs that were coming out on our website.
So much hate.
And there were
men?
Yep. Yeah, ironically, when we started Sangya, we actually expected a lot of hate, but instead we've throughout gotten a lot of love. It's been the opposite. We've gotten a lot of warmth, except for this one time when we, because 70% of the catalog is vibrators for women. Of course, can be used by anyone, but mostly purchased by women. And then there are the different types of fleshlights that I just described, right? And so Ashish put up a reel describing the way this product is, how it works, and why he likes it, and he actually does really like it. And it hurt a lot of egos. It hurt a lot of male egos. There were comments like, "You can't possibly be a man if you're using a fleshlight. What is wrong with you? Where is your manhood?" And we were pretty stumped reading that, because we're also, while we had assumed that there would be a lot of hate, there just hasn't been. So, suddenly for it to come out of nowhere on this product was just it was a little jarring. And of course, conditioning.
Yeah.
Male ego.
I would have assumed this on butt plugs for men. Like
But
there
the
is
thing
no
is
ways.
With the butt plug, you don't have, I think as soon as you have a man sitting there and talking about why he likes it, you'd get comments like this. But at the moment we don't, right? When we do a reel, we're just talking about the size, the diameter, the circumference, the crystal, the shape, the material. You're talking about that. You're not going to get hate on that. But the minute you sit down and start talking about why you like it, there will be a barrage of comments on why you're not a real man.
Fair. Yeah.
A woman does it, there will be nothing.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, I think the problem is that we've just taught boys and men that pleasure is a contest and they have to win it by, conquering women or conquering partners. They have to prove themselves in society by having these healthy relationships and asserting themselves as, virile men in society. So the idea of you experiencing pleasure by yourself without actively seeking a partner or proving yourself and your manhood, I think that just makes a lot of brains short circuit, because the idea is that surely you're not doing this willingly. You're sitting in the corner doing it by yourself because you couldn't get a partner. It's a struggle for you. You failed to get a partner and that's why you're condemned to this corner, right? I think that comes up for a lot of people as well. And there's also the fact that sex toys for a very, very long time, even now in a lot of pop culture, is associated with the queer community. There's this idea that you will find sex toys on the bedside table of a queer person, but you will not necessarily find it in a happy married couple's bedside or closet, right? And that conditioning is still very hard to work with, because a lot of people still feel like if they are of a certain age, if they've been with a partner for a certain amount of time, surely I shouldn't be curious about my body or be curious about sex toys. And we do sometimes pick up on that tone as well when customers are reaching out to us. There is a sense of, I am curious, but I'm also 45. Am I allowed to be curious? Yes, you are.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you've been with your partner for 25 years or whatever the hell. You can be curious whenever. But yeah, I think it's going to take a long time before we can sit our men down and say, hey, if this sounds fun to you, just go for it. You don't have to prove that you're good at having fun by conquering the women out there. It's okay. Relax.
Yeah, like get a dildo, but don't get a dildo bigger than me. Like, I'm pretty sure that would be a thing.
Yeah. I'm fairly certain. Yeah.
So, what else is there for men apart from blenders and washing machines and
Juicers.
juicers?
I mean, we are coming up with a new type of a plug because we keep getting queries about people who are just starting out. So, they want to explore, they're very curious, but they're also a little apprehensive because, girth is intimidating, size is intimidating. So in the men's section, we sort of came up with a plug which is a beaded plug with a very, very, comparatively to the regular plug, rather thin top. So, in case they just want to experiment, see what that feels like, it's not as intimidating as trying to use a vibrator or, like Danny said, something without a stopper. And this has a very, very wide base. So that's going to come up in a couple of weeks. And we're pretty excited about that one because it looks like it would be a great, great toy for beginners. And for the vibrators, a similarly placed product, we have two. One is called Curve, and it's sort of thin. It's like a really thin vibrator because we kept getting messages and feedback that some of the other vibrators that we had were a little intimidating, and these were people who were just starting out and the length was too much for them. So we sort of came up with something that is rather thin, so it doesn't look very daunting. There's another one which is called Swirl, which literally sort of swirls. It's a vibrator, but also thin and extremely bendable. So, great for people who are just starting out. Also, I think it's good for starting out anal play where vibrators are concerned because it's sort of thin. It's not, because it's bendable, it makes it a little flexible. Chances of any injury are just minimalized. So those are two really, really great products for people who are just starting out and don't know where to begin with, and if everything sort of seems daunting. Because, I mean, you look at sex toys and a lot of them are really, really thick, a lot of them are really, really big, and you assume that that's what people want. But that's also often what scares people away because they're like, no, this is not for me. I've never done this before. Maybe I shouldn't.
We also have a cock ring in our kink collection, which isn't a toy at this stage. It doesn't vibrate. It's not it doesn't have any motor. It's just a band of leather that you can strap around the penis, and there's buttons, click buttons, so that it's adjustable as well. And it's because we do know of a lot of desi men who are worried that they're not lasting long enough or they're not hard enough in bed, and they want to feel more confident in the way they perform in bed, and that cock ring really buys them that time and gives them, the erection that they're hoping for in the bedroom. So I think because we have shut down men from actually articulating what pleasure means to them, I think that has affected the way the sex toy industry at large has also been brainstorming for men. It hasn't been very creative. It's been very, blah, and just providing very basic fleshlights saying, here, have at it, or making complicated juicers and then, trying to market it by saying turbo blast. And, these terrifying phrases
Pretty
that just
sure
sound...
it said that.
Yeah, it's always that, right? Like, you want to sell men toothpaste, you will say charcoal activated and make the boxes black. Why? It's toothpaste. But anyway, so we see a lot of that with the mindset behind designing sex toys as well, where if it's for women, then there's a little more effort put into making it sleek and stylish, and this will fit in your cosmetics bag, this will look nice in your bathroom. But if it's a man, it's just, here's some silicone for you.